Yep, getting to go on a walk at one of my favorite spots to go for a walk. It's not as many trails and stuff, but lots of big ass houses. Well, not a lot. There's like 24 of them here. When I was a kid, this used to just be a field. It was a big cow pasture. And then the owner passed away. And he didn't have any, from what I understood, he didn't have any family or anything to leave it to. So it basically just kind of sat. It used to be a house with slot machines and stuff in it with the $50 and dollar coins in it that the neighborhood kids used to go and get out of them. Honestly, I wish part of me wishes I did that, you know, went and grabbed a couple, because those things are worth some serious fucking money. But then I watched it. We used to camp out here, ride 3-wheelers, 4-wheelers, all kinds of stuff. This was like the neighborhood, you know, adventure land for us, because we didn't have really anything close by to do, you know. We didn't have arcades, we didn't have movie theaters and shit like that. If we wanted that, we had to go to town, which is, you know, from here, by the time this town got a theater, it would have been like 7-8 miles to the movie theater. And the bus only shows like once every hour, and it's not connected to the same bus company as TriMet. So you're paying 2 different bus fees, you know, 4 times in a, you know, twice in a day. So 4 bus fees in a day just to go watch a movie. So we'd walk or ride our bikes if we wanted to do that. But we spent a lot of time out in this field, and we watched the process of it turning into a golf course. It took them like quite a while, about 15 years or so, to get it turned over, because the original people bought it to invest into it, to turn it into a golf course. That the money they had set for it went bankrupt. And the next set of people, it was the same thing, and eventually it got finished. And then you had them develop these big houses right here. Nice hearse. See you soon. Talk about a license plate. And you gotta help one inside. This thing's freaking cool. Especially that hood ornament. That's pretty cool. No, I'll flip the camera around here in a moment. I don't really want to be showing everybody's homes here or addresses here. Yeah, I used to play out here and some really good memories, and then there's a couple weird ones. They weren't bad, it was just weird. Like, there's a particular night that sticks out to me. Well, there's a few, but there's one that sticks out to me because my buddy Nate, he boils it down to a helicopter, but there was no noise. And my old buddy Tim and I, yeah, even to this day, because I've talked to him a couple times over the years, that situation still comes up. The 3 of us partaking. Well, that road, the hill there, used to go up and above the entry part of the road where we'd walk in here, where I still walk in to come to the trail. You have to walk up and then you walk down onto the property. Well, we were standing there, you know, in a circle about arms width apart. Foggy as hell outside. I mean, If we had each took 3 steps back, we'd disappear. We couldn't see each other. It was that damn foggy. And we're sitting there partaking and passing it to the left-hand side. And this fucking light. I want to say about the circumference of, say, like a 2-liter bottle, that the roundness of it. And it was this light that came right down in between the middle of us, right down in the middle, and it was like solid. It looked like something like, if you ever been to Ripley's Believe It or Not, or seen any of these, how do I say it, these weird, what do you call them, like, art? I don't know what it's called. It's like art, where it's like the never-ending waterfall, and in the middle of it you'll see like this glass tube, and it's just this light that goes down it, but it doesn't really penetrate anything other than where the light's at. Kind of like fiber optic lighting, or like a laser, where it doesn't really light up everything a whole lot, but it's really bright. Man, when that thing hit the ground right in front of us, and we're like, what the fuck? And we're looking up, we couldn't see where it was coming from. It just comes from up in the sky. And we all darted in the exact opposite directions, 3 different directions. And yeah, it's got fuel in it. But it scared the shit out of us. We know what it was and all that stuff. We all, myself and others have seen, you know, stuff like that before, just not like that. That was some crazy shit. Part of me had an urge, you know, later wondering what would happen if I touched it. Because it was crazy. Very crazy situation. Then, of course, out here, whether you believe in them or not, this area is actually known for shadow people. Take this off because there's nobody out and about. And I'm echoing in my head as I'm talking. But yeah, we got a lot of weird stuff out here. See something cool? Pretty cool, huh? Let's see. I like to do a little phototherapy out here too. While I'm out here. Sorry if I start talking intermittently a little bit, but the cars are loud. Sweet, I'll get a snapshot. Let's do this. And step over, get that bottom thing out of the way. Hopefully I got that snapshot without that white car going by like that. Yeah. Back when I was, this was like 20 years ago, so it's, let's see, yeah, it was like about 20 years ago, maybe less. My brother Jess, myself, our friend Jeremy Romaine, and his wife Becca at the time, we got together and came out here to drive golf balls, because this is the driving range right here. And sorry. Anyways, he's at the tee spot. He's teeing, like, so here I am, and he's like 7 feet in front of me, like directly in front. We're teed up, and we're getting ready to drive the golf balls, you know, into the range. And it's my last golf ball. And I go to hit that son of a bitch as hard as I could. Instead of that fucking ball flying off into the range. So instead of it going from here and flying all the way out here, basically I'm facing this direction. He's right here, and the golf ball goes straight in front of me. It goes straight in front of me. And square on tags him right in the brown eye. Dead center. I was dying worse than I am now. Isn't that cool? I used to work, my brother and I used to work for those people that own that barn, bucking hay for them each summer. It looks like, yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like they fixed the roof and stuff of this one barn here, which is good, because they still have cattle on the property. This white one right there. But yeah, right after I teed off and got my buddy like that by accident, after he recomposed himself, I mean, we were all just about crying over that one. He goes to tee off, and he's so mad about it. He goes to, it was his last golf ball too. He goes to swing as hard as he can, and ends up throwing the fucking golf club up and over the netting. And as it came over it, yeah, it threw it all the way up and over and almost into the road here. So there's the road. There's that. So yeah, he. So it was quite the day. Oh, no, they got rid of that old barn. But I'm gonna come over here and see if I can't get pictures of the cattle in the mist out here, because it's really cool. Can I zoom in? There you go. And then I can crop that a little bit, cut the road out, and clean it up with a smidge. I think what I might do actually is I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to switch to my regular camera mode so I can get a better picture. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Not at the beginning, or I'll probably use that as a picture for the vid. See, in Oregon, golfers still play golf. Just not as many. People. So, let's have some fun. Good thing I walked in here. And I see that, and I'm gonna get in the right position and totally spy on these people. No, I'm joking. I don't like it at that number. There. Hopefully I could get a clear shot of that. Now, this field here, you'll actually see an image in this rock. That's why they kept it here. I just can't remember. I want to say here. And this was found here. In that field, that same field that I took a picture of, which I need to get a picture of this. I'll get back to what I was going to tell you. I'm going to switch to my regular camera so I can get a better picture of this. I can't help it. I like this view. And what's funny is, or it's not necessarily funny, but there's actually just a lowly white duck out there. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I got sidetracked taking photos. I mean, it's just, this place is just really cool to me. Plus, there's a lot of memories here for myself where it comes to friends and family and all that stuff. People I considered family. And that field, I was like 17 at the time. And yes, this is at the time where, you know, teenagers would do stupid things. And we got our hands on a large amount of, and I want to, I guess I should, before I go to talk about this, what do you call it, little warning things, do not do this at home type thing, kids, you know, and it has nothing to do with let the professionals do it, just don't do it. I'm not like trying to justify it all. Yeah. Anyways, we got our hands on a large amount of LSD back then for really cheap. Which led to a whole fiasco of shit. And it was just hilarious to me, at least. But at the time, it was my younger son's mom. This was before he was conceived. And her friend Kelly at the time, and then this dude Nick that showed up at the party that night had said, go over to my place, my folks' place. So we're only a few doors down from there to go crash out. We'd been up all night drinking and all that stuff. In fact, this was the night that my younger son was conceived. Motherfucker. Now I think, yeah, it's the night my younger son was conceived. But anyways, we'll just see the next morning. And the only reason why I remember that is because of everything that entailed around it. All the things that we did, all that crap that day and that night. It was a party. But anyways, we went back to my folks' place because we were going to crash out for a few hours and get some rest from being up all night drinking and smoking and being idiots. All of a sudden, in the garage, you know, because that's where my room was, one of the garage windows was busted, so all I had was a piece of plywood there. And I'll flip this around so you can enjoy the view and not just look at me. But all of a sudden, the piece of plywood that was in the window comes flying out of the window into the room. My brother Jess is poking his head in. Dude, I'm so fucked up right now. I just did so much acid. So I was like, alright, no. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to have my brother hanging outside the garage high on acid. And then look behind him and I see there's my buddy Mikey's sister. And then a friend of hers, of all things, we went to school with her older sister Katrina. And it was her little sister that ended up hooking all this shit up and giving it to everybody. She didn't realize what. I don't think she realized what she got her hands on, what she was doing. Well, it tells about, oh shit, we got to get some of that. We need some of that. And yeah, first my buddy Nick starts, messing with my brother Jess because he's all fucked up. Taking 2 cigarettes that are lit and messing with them. And my brother's like, stop fucking with me. As things started to pick up, we were like, you know what? We need to leave because it's... Oh, bunny rabbit. Hi, Mr. Bunny. Ooh, doing alright, baby bunny. Pretty cool. But... anyways... my brother, he was so messed up. He was trying to get up on my girlfriend, my younger son's mom, for a moment there. Because everything was starting to kick in for us. He's all messed up, and we're like, no, we're not doing this at my folks' place in the morning when everybody's awake. We gotta leave. I was like, let's go out the back door the same way I had you guys come in. Well, by this point, my brother's shoes were already off. He's in his socks. And... motherfucker. He's... through the house, he starts skipping through the house. And I wanted him to go out the garage door. Nope, he decided to skip through the house, no shoes on. His pants were undone, his belt was off. And he just decides to go out the front. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Well, he, by this point, he's already long gone. Next thing you know, my buddy Mike's mom comes pulling up because she's leaving to deal with some business thing that she had going on up at the airport, a business meeting with Relive. And... which is some health company that she was working with and was very successful. And anyways, he was seen going down the highway, and her mom had stopped her mom had stopped to ask if he was doing all right. And oh wait, no, I'm wrong. I got this a little bit backwards. Because she had showed up at my place right after he left. And when she showed up, I had to go get my buddy Mikey's little sister Rachel and know her mom was there. And she needed to go. And her mom, she's looking at me because her mom's standing right behind her, not 5 feet. I'm going, Rach, you gotta go home now. Your mom's here. And she's just looking at us with the most blank stare in her eyes. My mom's here? Yes, Rachel, your mom's here, right behind you. She turns around and says, my mom's here. And yeah, her mom's asking what's going on. I was like, oh, they showed up here like this. I told her the truth. Well, at the same time, we're starting to kick in a little bit. And we're going, well, anyways, no, we told her the truth of what was going on. And her mom asked how to deal with it. And we're like, well, all you can do is just not mess with her too bad because you don't want to scare the shit out of her. And get her some milk. Might recognize that tree from one of my pictures, in fact. There we go. One more. But yeah, she left with their mom and all that. And after they left, it was my younger son's mom, or my friend Nick. He ended up becoming a pretty good friend after that. All that, it was quite the experience. My younger son's mom's friend Kelly. We had like one or two others there with us. And we found ourselves sitting in this little hole right before you enter into the, not that one, right before you enter into the what's now the golf course where I walked in at. We're all sitting there because it's kicking in and we're going, this isn't good. We feel like we're in a fucking boat right now. We need to leave. But we so we went back to my place and we're like, shit, we just gotta hang out quietly and wait for it to, wear off basically. All of a sudden we're getting a phone call at my house and I'm picking it up and I'm like, hello, and it's my brother Jess's mom. And I'm trying everything I can to sound normal. I couldn't sound normal if I tried at that time. Because that shit was kicking in really hard and I'm doing everything to hold it back. And I turn around and I look at my girlfriend at the time, her friend Kelly. I go, here, you need to take the phone. I'm having trouble here talking to Jess's mom. It's like, why? I was like, I don't know. You look like a mom to me and you look like you're normal and sober, so you need to talk to her. I can't do it. Well, she tries to talk to his mom and she's trying everything not to start busting up laughing also on the phone. And his mom's like, what the fuck is going on? I end up getting back on the phone with her. Len turns around and asks, or tells me, do you know what's going on with Jess? And I'm like, no, why? What's going on? And she outright tells us he was found naked in a ravine screaming for help. And immediately I started dying laughing. He's like, why is he so funny? And I'm sitting there going, this doesn't sound like Jess. I'm trying to be compassionate about it. And like, this doesn't sound like Jess type thing. We could not maintain ourselves. We just found in a ravine, butt us naked, screaming for help. We hope he's okay and he's not hurt, that type of thing. And so that we ended up finished talking to his mom. We got all this stuff together, was able to make sure his mom got all of it. And by that point, this stuff had kicked in so badly. My girlfriend, my younger son's mom, she was going to try and get out of work that day, but because she worked with her mom at the same place, she couldn't really do it. Sorry. There we go. But here. Zoom back out. But no, I could not talk to his mom. I had so much trouble about it. And eventually, yeah, his mom got his stuff and she left with it. We ended up leaving my folks' place because like, no. My girlfriend was, picked up, had to go to work. She's all messed up and trying to hide this shit. It was down to the three of us. Oh no, this is just not gonna be good. We gotta leave. This isn't gonna be good. Well, we ended up going to my friend Nick's place, and we ended up finding out that the girl that gave us this stuff was in the neighborhood. And because Jess's mom went and called the police on her, my buddy Nick thought it'd be a good idea to take advantage of the situation and go, hey, yeah, this is what's going on. But if you want help, you know, we can help you get rid of it. We had no intention to sell it. We had no intentions. Well, we ended up meeting her. She was only like 2 streets away from us in this trailer park. And we go meet up with her. We get the stuff from her. We're like, yeah, we'll pay you back whatever we get from it. No, what we did is we ended up getting people to bring us, bring candy and orange juice, and in exchange, to have a party. And that's what we did. We ended up having a big ass party with it. Oh, that night I obviously had to go home. My girlfriend's friend had to go home. And so we called my buddy Nate. And because we were so messed up, we couldn't remember how we got to where we were at. And so when we started to walk towards the local grocery store to meet up with my brother and them, we'd been walking what felt like an hour. It's probably like a 30-minute walk or less. And we weren't even sure if we were even going in the right direction. So we go back, get a ride, get back up to the market. There's my brother Nate making the last pass through the parking lot. At the top of our lungs, we're yelling for him, Nate! We see him make a beeline right towards us. Well, when we got picked up, we were taking her home, we dropped her off. I head back to my folks' place. We ended up going to my buddy Mikey's place instead. Well, my folks heard some things, but they didn't know a whole lot. And so I was hoping this stuff would wear off enough that I could go home and just deal with it. Oh no. My folks call over to my buddy Mikey's place, asking about what's going on, what happened, that they know about, this, that, and the other. They didn't know about where I was concerned. And so I was like, shit, I have to deal with it. I know better. I have to deal with it. So I get home, and I go walking in, and I look at my mom, and I couldn't help it. I couldn't keep a straight face, and I just broke down. Sorry, Mom, I feel like Jello. She's like, what? Yeah, I'm sorry. I ended up ratting on myself. My mom didn't know. And so getting pissy, doing all this stuff. She ends up taking me up to the hospital. I told her what they were going to do. It's like, they can't do anything about it. All they can do is just have me get something to eat and drink and absorb the shit and wait it out. I just can't do anything that'll, make it worse. And she wouldn't listen. But that was fine. She's being a mom. But we got there, and as I'm walking into the waiting area, I'm looking around and I'm seeing all these different people. I'm like, I recognize these people. You were at the party, you were at the party, you were at the party. We got our hands on like 8 sheets. There's 100 hits to each sheet. And between Nick and I, we ate 2 sheets. The rest was broke down amongst like a whole bunch of people. And I'm up at the hospital, and I'm seeing all these people that I saw at the party that we were at just a few hours before. I'm like, oh no, This is bad. You got doctors and nurses going, this is the cleanest shit we've seen in the worst situation that we've seen of so many people coming in, you know, this messed up on this drug. I was like, oh great. Well, we go getting into the ER room, and I go in there, and I'm sitting in there, and talking with the doctor, all this stuff. I mean, we're walking by people. I was like, one dude had like 2x4 stuck to his head because he ended up falling or whatever and hitting his head on a nail. Didn't go deep enough to hit the brain, but it got stuck in the skull. So they had to cut the 2x4. Well, so I saw him there. I'm like, wow, that's not good. Like, I'm pretty sure I recognize that guy from the party too. This is, what the fuck's going on? Well, while sitting in the ER, in that waiting spot, in the little curtain room thing on the bed with my folks, doctors do their thing. They leave. And for a moment there, I could have sworn I heard my girlfriend talking. And her mom. And I'm going, you know, I'm pretty high. I'm pretty sure. I'm just hearing shit. The doctor comes back in, hands me a Sprite, and tells my mom to go buy a couple bean burritos. He's like, let him eat it. Let him hang out, enjoy the experience. You can deal with him tomorrow. He's like, personally, I think he's had a bad enough experience. He doesn't need to be in trouble anymore. He's already done enough. I did quite a bit. But, you know, we left. Stopped at Taco Bell, got a couple bean burritos, as the doctor ordered. Went home. And then, excuse me, my buddy Mikey, his sister Rachel, we were all real close. They're very much were family to me. But they were coming over to check to see how I was doing and all this stuff, and that's when I found out that my brother Jess, when Rachel's mom picked her up and they were headed to the airport, they saw Jess skipping down the highway right there where that barn is, and they'd asked him if he needed a ride, and he said, no, I'm fine, I'm going to Judah's house. And we're sitting there thinking to ourselves, like, Judah? The Judah that we know lives like 30, 40 miles away. Is he gonna skip his ass all the way there? Well, then we ended up finding out the whole time he was having trouble keeping his pants up. They were falling to his ankles, and he was just giving people the finger. You know, as they drove by, he just stopped, give him the finger, and then start skipping down the road again. It was shortly after that, I guess, he went over a barbed wire fence, which shredded his pants, and he went running through that field, and on the other side of that field is a ravine, which leads down to a creek, which that same creek we walked along here. And this farmer, which happened to be the guy that we worked for, bucking hay, well, he was a part of that whole thing, found him, and he decided to lay down in the grass, hoping he wouldn't be seen. Well, when he saw the guy coming up running on him, and the guy's waving at my brother, and my brother's like, he decides to just lay down, and just starts calling for help. So, yeah, he wasn't actually found naked in the ravine. It was the fact of the way his mom explained it. That whole day was a fucking adventure and a half for us. Isn't that cool? There we go. No, we learned quite the lesson that day. Yes. For years, even now, we still laugh about the whole thing. Because we got lucky. Could have gotten worse. Could have gone way bad. What made it odd, or even more funny, is that everybody that we saw at the hospital, was all calling my buddy Nick, and the different ones letting him know that that was the best party they ever went to. It's like, oh my god. Again, I don't advise that to anybody. It was a very stupid moment in life that happened almost 25 years ago. I was a 90s hippie back then, basically. And that's why a lot of people who knew me then, that hadn't seen me for so long, they think I'm still into shit like that, and I'm not. I still enjoy my cannabis, but that's more on the medical aspect of things than fun and pleasure. Nice homes, huh? I've been in several of these when they were still building them at the time to see what they look like, because I knew I'd never be in them otherwise. And I never saw myself ever being in a house like that nice growing up. Like this one here was really neat. Let's see, yeah, that one. And I want to say that one was like the second most pricey of the neighborhood here. And then there's this next one that I actually enjoyed probably more. I don't know, I liked the layout a little more. I like the design of this one more on the outside look, or the aesthetics. The interior wise, I like this next one better. Again, I hadn't been in these homes since they were being built, and had been built, or finished being built, or whatever. And that's that guy right there. I'm warm and fat right now. Thankfully, I'm sweating a little bit, so hopefully I won't be as fat when I get done on this walk. What's cool about this one is they have like a balcony porch on the second floor above the entry. It's really neat. Hard to see, but the property over there wasn't just a tree farm, but they had these little single room white houses, and inside it just had like a bunk, a bucket, and a water basin. And obviously they hadn't been used for a really long time. There was about a dozen of them on that property back there. Well, this area's been known to have hobo burials because of the train nearby that comes through town. And then there's also Native American burials out here. But what people didn't realize, not a lot, you know, people, like obviously the original owners, the family that lived there when I was a kid, told us about it. Nice house too. But it used to, of all things, even though they didn't label it as slavery, it was pretty much slavery. They were hiring, this was a long time ago, this is, like I said, when Oregon City was becoming Oregon City. And they were hiring Mexican labor really cheap. This used to be Mexican territory as well. Russian territory is another one, because back when they're starting to colonize the East Coast, 13 colonies, and you had the big fur trade over there going on, Russia had their own fur trade going on from Alaska all the way down to northern Mexico. they're pretty successful at it. That's why you got a lot of Russian cities and towns and names going on along the west coast. But yeah, they basically lived on that farm in exchange of working there. Basically, yeah. And they didn't really get much in pay on it. But those buildings are torn down. I don't know how recent, because it's been fairly recent. As those are completely new owners, and they put in like some hazelnut trees and stuff like that. Now the area out here, when I was a kid, got a lot of hay farms, cattle farms. You got a lot of potato and onion farms. You ride the bus in the morning to school, and then in the afternoon when you go by the onion fields during harvest season, you can smell it like strong. You had a lot of strawberries, turnips. Yeah. My brother and I used to ride our bikes a few miles up the highway to go pick berries for 35 cents a small bucket, and then it was like 75 cents a large bucket. And we'd go do that so that way we could have money to go watch movies at the theater or go to Burger King. But anyways, I'm almost completely around. And I know this was a long vid this time, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And it being a good change from the norm. Thanks for watching. Late.